has been a deliberate formula so that some people can sit on others for life. Because if you release them, they reason out and they dismiss you. Time has come to create an Usawa nation, and we are determined to actualize an Usawa nation. We are not doing it not just because previous leaderships have failed to do it, but because it's actually the right thing to do. The concept of Usawa is anchored very deep in our constitution. It's part of Bill of Rights. All Kenyans must start feeling being part of this great country. Kenyans must claim stake and ownership of this great nation. And time is right. Time is now, and this is Usawa moment. It is our defining moment, and we must seize this opportunity. Election Day, 9th of August 2022, shall be a moment of history, and I urge you to join me to make this Usawa nation a reality. We know what ails this country, as I explained, and we are going to cure it. The critical and unspoken challenge facing this nation is unequal distribution of national resources. Only few Kenyans enjoy the national cake at the expense of vast majority. And they are seated at the top there, and all over lecturing to the majority, who are supposed to be partakers of that cake, and they are shameless. Only few, major socio-economic decisions are made without consideration of fairness and equity. And that is widening the gap between the haves and have-nots. We cannot fail to mention that. I know sometimes when people mention haves and have-nots, some other people get goose pimples. We must say it as it is, because that is the situation. And that's a problem that we are facing in this country. And all of us are giving it our backside, and we've started pointing at other things, unity and other manner of things. Most ills, conflicts and resentments manifest in our nation today can be, to a great extent, traced down to inequality. To address this, Usawa government, we established a formula that should be able to cluster all households by their income levels. On this basis, we are going to drive a household economic model. And I know there are very many models which are being propagated, but most of those models are seated on side because they are made by people who don't understand what the problem is. Because the problem is inequality, unequal distribution of income. Some households, families have, others don't have, and we must address that directly. And through the Usawa philosophy, the Usawa formula, we are going to take our national data and classify our households into income groups. This is known information. The statistics are there, but the will to crack it isn't there. We have people earning different levels of income, others with nil income, and it has been the case since independence. And we've been doing national census, taking all requisite data. We have the information, but we can't deal with it. Because if we deal with it, we are going to disturb the status quo. If we deal with it, we are going to have new emerging leaders. For us to preserve the status quo, we must keep doing census, counting people, counting animals, and even talking about the rich and the poor. But we can't deal with it, because if we deal with it, then we're out of power. And that is a problem. And we must face that problem squarely. No amount of abuses in political forums is going to deal with that. No amount of finger pointing is going to deal with that. Even if we fill up all our stadiums with humanity, with human beings seeking for votes, it will still not be resolved. We must start somewhere, and we must have the right model. And to me, the model is household economic model. And I've practiced devolution for 10 years, and I think this country has missed it. People think that devolution is about the national government and the county government. That's why you find everybody talking about the Ward Development Fund. Everybody talking about how much money is going to go down to devolved units. But no one talks about what is going to go to the households. And that's where the problem is. The problem is not in the word. Otherwise, we have no word actually. Those are creations of the Constitution. But the natural creation is a family unit. That's where families live. That needs to be the center of devolution. So those popular programs about Ward Development Fund and the rest, they are still not addressing the problem. We address the problem at household level, and it's something which I've tried practicing as a governor for 10 years in Mwangi County. It hurts at family level. It ails at household level, where we have the father, the mother, and the kids. That is where the problem lies. That is where solutions need to be directed. But you cannot direct the problem to the ward, the solution to the ward, and the problem is at household level. Then you are misdirecting resources. That is not devolution. We speak to families. We speak to households. Those are the people who go without food. Those are the people who seek for medical care. Those are the people who can't go to school. A ward cannot fail to go to school. It can't. But a family can. And that's what the problem is. Then you can consolidate them into a village if you so wish, if that's what pleases you. You can put it into a ward if that makes you happier. You can do it into a sub-location if that's your wish. You can put it into a division, a province. You can give it the term which pleases you. But the problem rests at the household. And that is where we want to focus the solution. That is a Usawa model. It is household based. We deal with the problem at that level. And we have capacity to put all our households into a computer and establish their monthly annual income levels, because we have about 50 million Kenyans. Most households